the old grill this last weekend now that it's finally feeling like spring?
I know, it was nice. I didn't grill, but I smelled a lot of people's grills in the neighborhood. You know when you're driving down the street and you're like, who's grilling? Can I come over?
Yes, and it gets you want to get out there and grill yourself. We grilled, but I'll be honest with you, I like to cook mainly meats.
Okay.
So we're going to venture out of the comfort zone here a little bit. How about veggie burgers? Our next guest is making veggie burgers that she says you will pick over regular burgers.
Bold claim. Okay, one is a Greek Spanakopita style burger. The other is all about spring veggies. And here to do it is the co-owner of Cafe 421, Antigoni Sander McCloud. Hello, my darling.
How are
nice
you?
to see
Good
you.
to see you too.
Okay,
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Antigoni.
Veggie burgers.
Yes.
You know, they kind of get a bad rap. Like, people think they're just like gooey brown piles of muck.
Right. I think veggie burgers kind of became the thing in the 70s when like
you were
alfalfa sprouts and like hippie food was vegetarian food. Exactly. And so I'm trying to get away from the Boca burger sort of stigma, which is sort of like a hockey puck, and give you a nice fresh veggie burger.
See, I like this idea because I think these, Antigoni, you're not trying to make them meat, seem like meat, like a fake meat. You are just trying to make them an actual veggie burger.
I think that's the problem with it. You're trying to like substitute or something.
And I don't understand that about vegetarian food in general. Like, I understand we all want to have a sandwich, but I don't understand why we want to make pretend turkey or things like that.
It's tofurkey.
Tofurkey, sorry. Well, for the holiday, I understand. So this is a totally different thing. It's not a burger, but it is a good substitute.
So you have a lot of spinach going, and that's going to be the main ingredient in your Spanakopita. And explain what Spanakopita is if you're not of the Greek heritage.
Yes. Spanakopita is one of the classic sort of Greek dishes. It's spinach, what is it, feta cheese, egg to bind it, fresh herbs in a phyllo crust. And so for a long time I thought, wouldn't it be cool to turn that into a burger with the same sort of ingredients, but the key to a veggie burger is having some sort of protein in there too. And I didn't want to choose something like a bean for this that was going to be too heavy and take away from those Greek flavors. So we have white quinoa in there to give it a little extra oomph.
Good idea. So quinoa is usually like in the grain section. It's spelled Quinoa. Remember, people always like, how do you pronounce this?
So are we putting the quinoa in the spinach mix here?
We would put it into the mixture if we were making it. What I just wanted to show everyone today was how a big pile of spinach like this can wilt down so quickly. Yeah, because I think it can be a little overwhelming when you're using fresh spinach like this, where you're like, oh, I've got a pound of spinach, it won't all fit in the pan. It won't. If you're watching as I'm going here, I'm adding a little handful, wilting it down, and another little handful, and melting all of the leaves in there.
And then eventually, what else are we adding?
Eventually, we would add feta cheese to that, and we would add dill, and then an egg to bind it, and then we put it in the fridge so it could firm up a little bit, and then we would make patties
put it on the grill
that look like that. If you're gonna try to put this in the grill, I recommend that you put them on a baking sheet.
Yeah, because you kind of get caught down in the...
And these are gooey. These will fall through, and that's a technique that I use in the recipe for this in general. Bake them in the oven at 400 for 30 minutes, and then, like I'm gonna show you now, we're gonna sear them out of the oven so they get a nice little crust on them.
That's a good idea. So you could probably use like a cast iron grill pan, couldn't you, too?
Absolutely. And you can hear a nice little sizzle there. And I want to show you the technique that I find most useful for the veggie burger.
Double spatula, sister.
Yes.
That's bold.
They are a little soft, so you need extra tools
What are you calling this technique? What did you name it?
I haven't yet. Why don't you help me?
Okay.
Double spat.
Tig's double spat.
The double spat.
Double spat.
It sounds like a ice skating term, right?
That's good.
So when they are really soft yet and you're flipping them, I like doing this.
But then you have another use for your fish spatula.
For the fish spatula, which I find a million uses for anyway, not just fish.
Awesome.
So that moves it right along and makes it super simple.
Okay, so then you also created one over here with like just spring veggies. So tell us how you put that together.
That is artichoke hearts, blanched green beans, or haricot vert, the thin French green beans, and sweet peas. So the sweet peas have a little bit of starch in them too, so that helps bind them. And then there are white cannellini beans in there as well. And those are super duper soft, so I find that it is even better to put those in the freezer for an hour before you start cooking them.
And then you do the double spat.
And then do the double spat.
Let's try these.
Going to be the envy of everyone in the veggie burger world.
This is the spring veggie one, and then you also you serve the
can scoot that onto a plate if
Greek
you
one,
want,
open
because I
face.
know it's a little hard to get
So
to.
while we try these, Tig, you
Yeah.
gotta tell us, you do have some keys to success when it comes to veggie burgers, starting
Yes.
with protein, right?
Absolutely. You want something like we use the quinoa in the first burger, and we use the white beans.
How you doing?
How's it going over
It's
there?
delicious.
That's new.
It's great.
You like it?
I do. I like it a lot.
Oh my gosh, this is really good.
Would you eat that? Would you offer that to your vegetarian friends on a grill day?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's quite delicious.
Excellent. Yeah, it's hard to find, as I have heard from my vegetarian friends. She's known for dropping food on the floor, so this is okay.
Every time I eat on this show, it falls out of my mouth. It's so embarrassing.
But my vegetarian friends are always feeling a little down in the dumps when they go to barbecues because all they can eat is potato salad and fruit salad or something like that. So if you had a bit of a surprise, something like this for them, you would be
You don't even have to be a vegetarian to like that. Antigoni, I didn't want to believe it.
I know you didn't.
It's good.
though. It's super.
It's good.
That's super flavorful. That's not like any sort of dull,
No.
mucky veggie burger. Tig, you did a great job.
Thank you.
So much.
For these veggie burgers recipes, go to TwinCitiesLive.com and click on food.
Hey, you know what? There are still reservations available at Cafe 421 for Mother's Day, and I'm just gonna say it. Order the lamb burger. It's the best thing ever. Bold statement, but that's what I said.
Your favorite.